The Pittsburgh Steelers offense is all the way back in Madden NFL 26. And we couldn't be more excited because we ran this offense in Madden 22.
Offense is on the field.
The offense is on the field. It's a 2-point conversion for Swole. The final game. The finals of the challenge.
Snap. He's under pressure. He's rolling to the right. Throws this one out.
He
Hopkins in the
finds
corner of the
it!
end zone. He makes the catch. A 2-point conversion.
Madden 23.
Yeah, absolutely. I can do that. 100%. I can definitely build you the best Madden 23 offense the world has ever seen.
Madden 24 and Madden 25. It even got to a point some years where people would spam my comment section for the offense. So we ran it for a very long time. This year, with the addition of a bunch of new formations, it is probably going to become the meta, with pro players like David T and that Goose Guy already adopting it. The formations we're going to be covering in this video are Bunch X Nasty, Trips X Nasty, and of course, for old time's sake, tight doubles. First, we're going to be going over the Bunch X Nasty formation, starting with the play Motion Cross Post. To set up Motion Cross Post, you must first make sure your bunch is on the wide side of the field, and then you're only going to make one adjustment. You're going to streak your solo receiver, and that's all you're going to do. And this is actually going to bomb cover 3, bomb cover 2, and be a huge gain versus cover 4. So let's just take a look at cover 3 first. What's going to happen here is you're going to notice that the inside third is going to freeze. So when I snap the ball, take a look, the inside third no longer drops back to the streak, and now we're able to throw it right over him and get that easy bomb, possibly a one-play score. And now what else is really cool versus cover 3 is if you don't have that much time, which sometimes you won't, you're also going to be able to throw the wheel route. So what you're going to see is when I snap the ball, he's going to cheat across the field, wait about a second, and you're going to be able to throw the wheel route right beneath the deep zone and get yourself a big gain. But what this play really does well against, on top of cover 3, probably mentioned before, cover 2. And if they run a cover 2 defense, what you're going to notice is that the cheat motion wheel is going to get above the flat, and if you get a good pass lead to the outside, you can actually get a huge gain, make a man miss, and possibly get a one-play score out of it. And then you're probably like, okay, so what if they run cover 4? Cover 4 is a great defense. There's no way you can beat cover 4. Well, you can beat cover 4 as well too, also to the wheel route. You just got to make sure you get a good pass lead. Once again, you can see right there, good pass lead to the outside, and then it's another very good game versus cover 4. So you get it, they probably have to user that wheel route. And if they user that wheel route and they don't have proper zones, especially on the other side of the field, one of the most overpowered routes is this running back flat crossing the field. Because if they don't have hard flats on that side of the field, you're going to notice that this will be an easy dot, make a man miss, and then just like that, you got 10 yards. And if they have a deep flat zone on the other side of the field, don't worry about that either, because you'll actually just be able to throw this little short crossing / drag route. You're going to see it attacks this little window here, and you're going to click on an aggressive catch it right beneath any deep zones. And then the other part of this read progression that's really good is if they go and cover this drag route, let's say they have the drag route covered, they have the wheel covered, they do everything they can to stop your bread and butter. Well, you also have a tight end post, right? So you're going to see the tight end post is going to be open over the middle of the field for an easy possession catch beneath the safety. So that's why motion cross post is one of the most overpowered plays in the game and is a staple of our Steelers offense. The last play was a zone beater. So this next one, Y flat goal line, will absolutely annihilate man coverage for you. To set up this insane man beating play, we must make sure our bunch is on the wide side of the field. We're gonna put a zig on our slot receiver and a drag on our tight end. And what happens is when you snap the ball, you're gonna see this out route fries his man to the outside of the field. And as long as you get a good throw, hopefully Aaron Rodgers makes good throws this season, you're gonna get a gigantic gain, just like so. And if you have a fast receiver, this could be a one-play score, right? Especially if you make a man miss. It's an insane man-beating play. And just to show you a couple reps of it, it is very good. You can always throw it outside of the DB, whether they shade outside, route commit outside, it really doesn't matter. He's going to torch the defensive back, and you're going to get some absolutely huge gains. But we have other routes on the field. So if they are in zone or they do something to cover it, don't worry too much. You're going to see this zig route is also pretty good. You can hit him in stride and maybe get a huge gain out of it if you have some speed, because that can also beat man. And of course, if you have a decent tight end, you're also going to be able to beat man. You just got to wait for him to cut, get across the field, and then you're gonna see you can get some pretty good gains that way. So that's why flat goal line, one of the best man-beating plays in the offense, and probably the best man-beating play in the entire game. Now we're taking a look at another cheat motion play, motion corner under, which is one of the best flood concepts in the entire game. To set up this flood concept from motion corner under, what we're going to do is it's actually going to be a few adjustments, I won't lie. This one's a little bit more of an advanced combo, but you absolutely want to learn it. What I'm gonna do here is I'm going to drag my solo receiver on DK Metcalf. Once again, make sure your bunch is on the wide side of the field. I'm going to put a curl on my tight end and stem up that curl one notch so he just gets a little bit deeper. Then I'm going to block my running back for extra time. There's no reason to have him on a route for this play. We're going to put a corner route on the point man receiver and stem him all the way down. So it's going to look something like this. This is the final combo. And this is a really insane flood concept for a lot of reasons. Number one, this stem down corner does a great job at getting in those soft spots in the zones, getting over cover two, getting beneath deep zones. But the other reason I like this play so much is that you have a return route coming from the back side of the field. So I'm going to show you really what that return route does for us. If they overcommit to that corner route, the return route can be, you know, our third or second read progression or read option. And you can see it attacks that nice soft window. So that was against a cover 3 buzz right there. And I want you guys to notice kind of what happens. This return route, especially when it's on the short side of the field, which it should be if your bunch is on the wide side of the field, the return route will actually hit this nice soft spot in the zone. So even if they have a hook, the hook usually won't be super low, and he'll end up trying to recover late in the play, and you're gonna end up guaranteeing yourself 5 to 6 yards, which is super nice. Now the other thing that's cool, as really this is just a part of any regular flood concept, is if the corner is covered and they do not have hard flats, you have a drag route coming across the field, right? You're gonna see the drag route comes across the field. You're gonna be able to throw it, get, 4 or 5 yards really easily. So that's another route that you can throw on this play. But one of the unique twists that I actually got from my friend That Goose Guy that made this really good is this stemmed up curl route. Most of the time, people are going to expect you to have a streak there, to have some sort of route in that area. Let's set up a proper cover 3 here, right? Or they're going to go cover the corner, whatever it may be. Once they key into the drag, the return route, and they cover everything, let's assume everything's covered here, this curl route no one ends up expecting. It attacks a very nice spot where hook zones don't really cover it, and their user has to be there. The majority of the time, their user isn't there, and you're gonna be able to throw that curl. But once again, you're gonna see that the other routes on the play are usually gonna be open anyway. This corner route, you can see, wide open with the pass lead to the outside. The curl, open. The drag, wait about a half second. Look at this huge window to throw the drag. So this play is probably the most insane flood concept in the entire game, but one thing I can say for sure is it's the best flood concept in the entire playbook. Before I go over the next 2 formations, and trust me, you don't want to miss them, I highly recommend you try victoryformation.gg if you actually want to be an elite Madden NFL 26 player. And there really is no better time, seriously, because our once a year Madden 26 sale is live, and it includes both Madden and College Football 26 content all year long for just $45 compared to $180 if you paid monthly. So unlock it all using code M26. And we even have 8+ tips and the full version of the Steelers game plan, including 2 extra insane formations, more plays, written setups, and in-depth red zone guides. So if you're ready to join thousands of players taking their games to the next level with victoryformation.gg, click the link below or scan the QR code to start improving today. Now we're transitioning into the Trips X Nasty formation, starting with slot fade H wheel, the best zone beating play in the game. For the first setup in slot fade H wheel, you only need to make one adjustment while making sure your trips is on the wide side of the field. All we're gonna do is streak the tight end. That's it. And then versus cover 2, you're gonna notice that the slot fade, if you pass lead it in the right spot, can be a very easy dot below the deep half and really outside of the deep half while being above flat zones. So that's a really easy dot that you can use against cover 2. But I really want you guys to pay attention to all the unique routes on this play. You have this very long snag route, you have this long wheel route, you have this delay route. And what you're gonna notice here is that a lot of the time, the wheel route, let me put him back in his spot here. He is going crazy right now. A lot of the times you're gonna notice this wheel route is going to hit the flats really quick, and you're gonna be able to get some very good gains out of it because he always gets a great run after catch animation. The other thing you're gonna notice is that this delay route does a great job at hitting some zone soft spots, getting beneath the zones, and getting you a very solid 10 to 15 yard gain. And then of course, if they don't have proper hook zones, you can usually throw this snag route, especially if you have a good possession receiver, and get yourself 4 or 5 yards. The other thing I want you guys to note is most of the time, if someone's running a cover 2, they're going to user this mid read. And after you hit them with the snag route a couple times, after you hit them with the delay route a couple times, that's what their user is going to key in on. And what's going to end up happening is they're likely to give up the streak. You can see you're able to throw the streak and it would be a big gain. So you really have something for every type of zone defense, and that's why this is one of the best zone beating setups in the game, and only one of our slot fade H wheel setups. Now you're probably like, that last setup was insane. There's no reason to have another setup unless it's even better. And I'd argue that this setup may be even better depending on what defense you're playing. And this is a cover 4 and a cover 3 bomb that works extremely well. But you definitely want to have a fast receiver at this slot spot and a solid quarterback with good throw power at quarterback. Now the way to set it up is to streak your tight end, stem up the slot fade 4.5 times, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then flick the left stick up once, that'll be the half. Then put an out route on and stem up that out route twice with the D-pad, 1, 2, and to be safe, you can do it 2.5 times, so flick the left stick up. Now, the final route combo will look something like this, and you can do really anything on the backside. Pause. I like to just block my running back and drag the solo receiver, and you're gonna see it's gonna look something like this. And when you snap the ball, you're just gonna wait for that deep zone to drop to that out route, and then you're just gonna throw this slot fade, rack catch it, and usually that's going to be a 1-play score for you. Now, if they do decide to go and cover it, let's say they switch stick it, they do something like this, right? Then you're just gonna take a look and look at, any of your backside plays. You can have the snag route on the backside that might be pretty good. You can have the drag route. You can have a bunch of different routes. Now, one of the really cool things you can do with this play, granted, it makes it a little riskier for the bomb, but I really, really like this. You can put your tight end on a curl and stem up that curl 2 times. Now set up the regular play, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2.5. So it looks like this, okay? So it's the regular play, but instead of a streak on the tight end, it's a curl stemmed up 2 times. What's gonna happen here a lot is the safety is going to overcommit, or their user is gonna overcommit to R1, leaving the curl open for a 20+ yard gain. So that's another option you have when running this bomb. This next play is called high-low cross, and it's the absolute best play for beating cover 0 while also beating most zone defenses. To set up this play, which is the destroyer of cover 0, you only need to make 2 adjustments, and the other thing I'd like to mention is you wanna have your trips on the wide side of the field. And the way to do it is we're gonna streak our solo receiver and come back our outside most trips receiver. The play is gonna look something like this. Now, the reason this is so good against man coverage cover 0 is that every play can beat man, or every route, my apologies, can beat man coverage. And the other thing that's really cool is since the running back's crossing the field, and the majority of the time he's manned up from the other side of the field, I want you to take a look at what happens here. The safety is going to trail, and then you're gonna be able to throw this route for a big gain, make the person on you miss, get even a bigger gain if you can do it, right? I also want to say the spin moves and the juke moves, if you don't hold R2, are pretty good in this game, right? Now, the other thing that's really, really cool is despite having that amazing route for cover 0, these routes just beat man, right? As I mentioned. So take a look here. The drag route, fries man, boom. Just destroys man. I don't know why he possession caught it there, but you can see he absolutely torches the slot corner. You're gonna see, take a look, boom, fries the slot corner, and you can get a very good gain out of it. And the other thing is, if you have time, this man beater takes a little bit longer, I will admit that. You can also throw this comeback. Now this comeback's really, really good because, well, it's a comeback route, it fries man, boom, throw it, aggressive catch it, possession catch it, do whatever you can to get in front of the safety and hopefully throw a better pass than Aaron Rodgers just did. So that's how we're frying man coverage, but this is also very good versus zone coverage. Now, why do you think it might be good versus zone coverage? Well, you're looking at the route combo, you have a crosser and a drag, so you have a high-low read on the left, and then you have a comeback and a reversed halfback flat, so you have a high-low on the right. So all you really need to do is read if they have hard flats or not. Oh, they have hard flats, boom, throw this, easy dot to my comeback. If they don't have hard flats, let's say they have curl flats or some other deeper zones. So they have deep zones here, okay? Okay, no worries, on the right side of the field, no problem, we'll throw this. Big gain, right? Really easy. And it's the same case with the crosser. I'll do 1 rep with the crosser. You're just gonna be reading how their flat zones play. The majority of the time, they will not double mabel. I haven't seen really anybody double mabeling. So as long as you can read the one player and what zone they're in, you're going to be able to see a wide open player, whether it's the lower read, the drag or the halfback flat, or the higher read being the crosser and the comeback. So that's why this play is so good at destroying both man coverage and zone coverage. The next play, high-low dig, is a staple of the Trips X Nasty formation because of its unguardable zig route. To set up this play with the unguardable whip route, you only need to make a couple adjustments. Number one, you're gonna wanna put an out route on your outside most trips receiver. And then the next thing you're gonna wanna do is drag the tight end. And then we're gonna put an in route on the backside solo receiver, stem up that in route 2 times. So a total of about 3-4 adjustments, not too bad, more than a couple. But nonetheless, all of these adjustments are very, very worth it. Number one, because, well, the whip route is unguardable when you have that out route on the field. It doesn't matter if they're in cover 4, cover 2, it really, really doesn't matter. Like, for example, if they're in cover 2, they shade outside and underneath, so they run something like this, okay? So they do really everything they can. Just take a look, it doesn't matter. Boom, throw it, easy dot, 5-6 yards, right? So they have to use that route, so keep that in mind here. The other thing that is really, really nice is that if you're playing, you know, a cover 4 defense and they shade underneath, okay? They're gonna probably stop this table route, but what this table route is gonna do, because it cuts very fast outside, it's a special table, you're gonna actually see the drag route's gonna be a pretty easy dot, right? Since that table pulls the zone so far outside, let's do it a couple times, it ends up making the drag route a very, very easy dot. You just kind of want to avoid the hook zone, right? You can see you can get 5-6 yards at any moment there. And then of course, if they do have a deeper zone on that side of the field, let's say they have a crow flat, right? Right now they have a crow flat, okay? You can actually throw this table route and get yourself, you know, 5-6 yards. So it's a very easy read. So what I like to do on this play, forget about what coverage they're in for a moment, I will read the table and the drag, right? Because it's kind of in the same spot. And then I'll look at the whip route. Now, if all of that's guarded, right? So if they cover the whip route, which they never will, they cover the tight end, they do everything they can, they're pretty much abandoning the middle of the field at that point, which you could imagine makes it so the in route is an easy dot, right? So that's why this combo is really so insane for both beating man and, for why not show it, this route will also be zone or man coverage as well, right? So you can actually just throw the drag, you can throw, and especially the whip routes. Just take a look. The whip route also beats man, right? So that's why I say this combo destroys both man and zone defense and is really, really good when you need those few yards to get a first down or even a touchdown. Now, what you've all been waiting for, tight doubles, where we're going to use both shot fake cross and cross wheels. We're gonna go over shot fake cross first, and to set it up, what we're gonna do is streak triangle, drag our tight end, and streak our running back. And we're gonna make sure our tight end is on the wide side of the field. And against cover 2, you're gonna be able to throw this slot fade for a very, very good gain. And you're gonna end up pretty much bombing cover 2 at that point. But then, okay, how is it versus cover 4? Or rather, let's start with a cover 3. I'll set up a custom cover 3 here. So here's a cover 3. How does it look versus cover 3? Well, you're still going to be able to pass lead this fade outside. Just take a look. You can see, you're gonna be able to throw that outside. In that case, Aaron Rodgers did overthrow it. Aaron Rodgers, for some reason, is not great in this game. Nonetheless, let's do it one more time versus cover 3 so I can show you what a good pass lead outside versus cover 3 looks like. You're gonna see, pass lead outside, easy dot, and you're actually gonna be able to bomb cover 3 in a way as well. Then you're like, okay, what if they run cover 4, right? And if they run cover 4, you're actually gonna be able to get outside of the outside quarter as well. You're gonna see, boom, pass lead outside, easy dot, right? So it'll get outside of cover 2, it'll really get outside of cover 3, and it'll get outside of cover 4. So that's obviously your main read. Now, on top of that, if they do have deeper zones on the field, that's okay, because you can actually take a look and throw this drag route, right? Usually the fade will still be open, but your drag is a good secondary option for, let's say, if they're blitzing. Now, the other thing that's really, really good is this crossing route, because if they do run, let's say, a cover 4, they grab this guy, they move him way, way out to maybe go and have a chance at covering it, that's okay as well, because, well, if they have hard flats on the field, you're gonna be able to throw this crosser right beneath that fade route. So that's also very, very good, right? And if they run man coverage, so I'll actually set up my own little man coverage here. Don't actually have a man play. So if they run man coverage, let's say they have something like this on the field, right? That's okay as well, because both the drag and the crosser do a pretty good job at beating man coverage. So it's not like if they call man coverage, you're in a very bad play. Now, last but not least, and this really is when your opponent starts really adjusting, let's say they're using this player and they're going to cover the crosser, they man up this guy. So they do everything to cover every play that you have or every route that you have. That's where the running back streak comes in. Snap the ball. You're going to see the running back streak hits a nice soft spot in the zones, especially if they're going to try and cover everything else. And that's when you throw the running back streak. So that's how you run shot fade cross in the big 2025, or rather the big Madden NFL 26. Now to set up cross wheels, it's actually really easy. We're just going to streak the triangle receiver, aka the middle receiver, and have our tight end on the wide side of the field. Now versus cover 3, cover 4, it really doesn't matter. You're going to be able to throw that wheel route in that nice soft spot in the zone beneath the deep zones. Now versus cover 2, you're just going to wait a little bit longer and throw it as a deeper pass, as you can see. Deeper pass, you're going to be able to hit it the majority of the time. Aaron Rodgers just missed it there. But if you go on instant replay, you can actually see that the hard flat's going to drop down to this short crossing route that's really fast. And what's going to happen is the wheel, he's got all of this green grass in front of him, so that's another big gain. A lot like shot fade cross. But the other thing that's really cool on this play is this little crossing route on circle. So if I'm playing a heavy blitz, let's say they blitz me, this is a great pass to hit really quickly in the middle of the field and possession catch it, right? It's an automatic read and it's great for, well, when they heavy blitz. Now the other thing that's really cool is this little crossing route on the tight end. Now this route is pretty great, and the reason I say it's so great is because the majority of the time, the flat is going to step out to the wheel temporarily, and then you can hit this route in the soft spot in the zone, right? And get yourself 4 or 5 yards. And if they have deep zones on the field, like deeper flat zones, I should say, it's actually a very easy read as well. You can see you can throw it right there and get up to 10, 15 yards, right? Which is really nice. And then you also have this really wide wheel route that's great for beating zone coverage, because it cuts at the last possible second, and you're gonna be able to click on and possession catch it right before or inside of the flat zone. So that's why cross wheels is so good in this game, and when paired with shot fade cross, you can really run an entire tight double scheme. Now, when you get into the red zone is where this offense really shines above any other offense, because we got 2 of the best red zone combos in the entire game. Now, both of our red zone combos actually come from the Trips X Nasty formation, which is awesome because this is probably our most called or second most called formation in the entire playbook. Now, the first setup is going to be out of high-low cross, once again with the trips to the wide side of the field. This play, to set it up, all we're going to do is put a curl on the solo receiver, stem that curl all the way down, then we're going to put a streak on R1 and an out route on circle. Now, the reason this play is so good is because the out route will pull any flat zone out far enough for us to go and hit this little crossing route and get ourselves pretty much a walk-in touchdown, depending on what yard line we're at. Now, you're also going to notice, despite this out route, pulling this flat zone out, and then we're just gonna be able to throw this in the nice soft window, you're also going to see the hitch route here pulls down flat zones. Now, let me show you how kind of that plays out. Let's call a cover 2 here, right? So if they're in a cover 2, and let's say, we're still gonna be able to throw the triangle route, you're gonna notice it's open. But if they're in a cover 2, you're also going to see that this crossing route on the tight end hits a nice soft window in the back of the end zone when paired with that hitch, right? And then you're probably also wondering, okay, well, what if they run a man coverage? So I'll kind of set up a custom man coverage here. That's completely fine. If they want to run man coverage, that is their prerogative. So here we have man coverage. That's no problem, because man coverage is really hard to run against this crossing halfback flat route. As you guys probably imagined by now, you can see it's hard to run because your man coverage needs to cross the field, right? Which is difficult. And then on top of that, we also know that this crossing route is very good versus man coverage. As you can see, he completely fried. So that's just the first red zone setup, and you actually have a lot of options on this play. You could throw the running back, you could throw the crossing route, and of course, if it's open, you could throw the hitch as well. Now, this next combo is out of high-low dig, and it's absolutely insane because you basically have 2 unguardable routes. Now, to set it up, you have your trips on the wide side of the field. You're gonna put an out route on your outside most trips receiver, and you're gonna stem down the C route. Now, what's really cool about doing this is that when you pair the stem down C route with the running back streak, that's the last adjustment, right? So out route, stem down C route, running back streak. You're gonna see that running back streak is gonna pull in flat zones, allowing you to throw this C route in the corner of the end zone for an easy dot. Now you don't need to highball it, you don't need to do really anything, you're just gonna throw it the majority of the time. So I'm gonna snap the ball, this is versus a cloud flat. You can see, boom, it's in the corner of the end zone, it's an easy dot, right? Aaron Rodgers just needs to hit the pass. That really is the only problem in many cases. So once again, boom, it's there, easy dot to that little corner of the end zone beneath the deep half, right? And then on top of that, you have this whip route. This whip route's unguardable. We talked about it a lot in the high-low dig original setup, but no zone's gonna guard it. It's a really easy dot. So my first read on this play, the majority of the time, is going to be the C route. You're gonna see the C route is going to be open. So I'm like, oh, C route's open, throw it, easy dot, easy touchdown. And then my second read on the play is going to be the whip route because it gets open just a little bit later in the play, right? So you can see whip route, easy dot, and the majority of the time, easy touchdown. So those are two of the best red zone combos in this offense, and probably the best red zone combos in the entire game. Now that you have the best offense at your disposal, you should learn the best defense too. So click the video on screen to start locking down all your opponents.